Hello, how are you? I'm back. You guys had a lot of questions, and I thank you for them. And nobody got ratchet with it, and I appreciate that. I really do. I'm going to answer your questions in no particular order, just what do I see? Uh, um, it says, what motivates you? I'm not sure what does motivate me. Fear motivates me a lot. I do a lot of things out of fear, like I'm afraid I'm going to run out of money or afraid of it, so I'm always preparing and doing simply out of fear, which is not necessarily, not typically a good thing. Motivated to do what I've done, I don't know. My parents, ever since I was young, said, which Ivy League school are you going to and what kind of physician are you going to be? So I never had anything other than that's what life is. So I can't say, I can't claim any internal motivation. I do like to do well, don't like to lose. Maybe that motivates me. But I'm not regular chick getting through the day. That's pretty much it. What kind of guilty pleasures do you engage in? I'm not telling. What is your biggest regret in life? My step parenting. I was not a good step parent. I was 29, the oldest boy was 17, and I did not make a point of establishing a meaningful relationship individually, each of those four boys. Teenage boys, I didn't quite know what to do with it, but it's all my fault. It's all my fault. That's my biggest regret. The manner in which I became a step parent. I do better now, but then I was not that good. What is my favorite book that I am reading currently? And it is The End is Always Near by Dan Carlin. Very good book. It's about history and how great societies perish. Very meaningful. Very, very, very good. Uh, what is your favorite cocktail? Johnny Walker Black Neat. Actually, I like Scotch Neat. Single malts I like. There's oh, let's see, McClellan, Glenlivet, all that kind of stuff. But typically, when you go somewhere, I ask for Johnny Walker Black. Neat, no water, no ice, no soda. I want my alcohol unadulterated. Now, having said that, I will say this: I do not drink on this COVID break because I did one day, and well, twice I did it, and woke up the next day so depressed I couldn't get out of bed. So people with psychological issues have to be careful with their consumption given the context of the environment at any given time. How are you holding up during the pandemic? I'm okay. Um, how do I unwind and de-stress? I crochet these days. I crochet. I bought a piano, electric piano, and I'm gonna play a song. I'm gonna figure out how to play a song and do that. I paint. I read. I sit outside early in the morning. I drink a lot of coffee. Uh, I talk to you people. That's always fun. If I were not a judge, what would I be doing? I have absolutely no idea. I meant to be a doctor. I think I would have been a good doctor. I enjoy that field. I think it's fascinating. I think it's interesting. But as I have told other people, and this is the answer to some other questions: where did you go to school, and how did you become successful, and all that kind of stuff. I went to Harvard undergrad and University of Pennsylvania Law School, where I got my doctorate in law. Uh, I did not go to class at either institution, which answers another question you people had to me: is what's one of my biggest regrets, and that's one of them, is going to those really expensive schools and not learning anything, and I didn't. I tested well, and I was fooling around. I would go to class the first day. I would get the syllabus and the books, and then I would study, and then I would go to class the last day where they reviewed what was going on to the exam, and then I would take the exam. Got the degree, learned not a thing, had to apologize to my parents who paid for that, but hey, I still got the degree on the wall, so what are they gonna do? Was ever worried? Before I got married, was I ever worried about how my life would turn out or if I would find love? I never worried about finding love because dudes were kind of always at me, you know, and I found them very stressful. And it was kind of like at the time, it was like I gotta find one that's not a But I didn't have that sense of, I want to get married, I want to be with somebody. I think around 27, I said, I ought to get it together here because I want to have kids. But I wasn't a very romantic person, and I wasn't, that wasn't defining my life. The definition of my life was my professional success. That's how I did things. If you were not a judge, what would you be? I usually say a teacher because that's what I like to do. And this is an answer to another question. I have taught at a university, Ursuline College. I taught women in the law, and I taught civil rights law, had a ball, always thought I wanted to be a teacher. If I had my dream next thing, I would run my own school, middle school, because that's when I think the crazy starts. But anyway, how many hats do I have in my baseball hat collection? Not enough. I gave away a lot of them, but not enough, not even close. How do you de-stress? I get on the treadmill, put on, Sly and the Family Stone, Loose Booty, Shack, Rackamoo, Bendigo. Oh! And I sing like Celine Dion, and that, the treadmill is wonderful. What celebrity would you like to meet? I've met a lot of them. At a party that Tyler Perry gave, I met Denzel. And the funnest part was I met Samuel L. Jackson, and he actually knew who I was. He said, I don't like your new set, and I don't like your new bailiff, but I still like you. I was so tickled I didn't know what to do. And the funny part was I'm so shy that when I went to that party, I just set up my chair where I could see all the celebs coming in, and I just watched them. Just didn't, if they happened to see me and talk to me, that was fine. But I was too shy to get up and say anything to anybody, although I did walk over to Denzel and shake his hand. Soft hands, by the way. What is my good mood food? Tennis, treadmill. Tennis and the treadmill, I answered that already. What is my favorite quote? My favorite quote is, anger is like a city broken into and left without walls. Because I think that is so friggin' true. Proverbs 25:28. I do believe. Have you ever done anything youthful and that you're embarrassed about? I have a visual aid for that. Excuse me, I'm coming back. When I was in high school, I went to a private high school, and we all got in our, what do you call that? Yearbooks. When you're a senior, you got your own whole page to put anything you want on it. And most people, and I'll show you my best girlfriend, Kay's page, because she had a very nice page. Or, where's Kay? There's Kay. Ooh, there's Tara's page. Everybody, pictures, pictures, pictures. Do you want to know what I did? I was in such a state. And I got called into the headmaster's office. Everybody got mad at me. You're ruining the whole scene. But I was in a mood. This was my page. I refused to put a picture on it. Just refused. And I wrote things like, are you ready for this? I think somehow that up till now I've been wasting the time I've been spending. I'm growing old, and so I'm told the best years of life are now ending. But as of yet, I'd rather forget the things that I've been through sober. So I've been thinking, if I start drinking, I saw some corn, maybe the worst is over. That's the kind of crap I did. I have been set to sea to be tossed and teased by all that surrounds me. Those who have christened me and sent me off felt me small, yet seaworthy. However, in the short time that has passed during my first and only voyage, I have found the distance so vast and void that I wonder if someday I shall only be remembered by those that can recall the Edmund Fitzgerald. The Edmund Fitzgerald is a huge tanker that sank in the Great Lakes. That's where my head was back in the day. Y'all think I'm playing when I say it's a little off. Someone wants to know, how do I color my hair? And I'm gonna show you something. I don't color my hair. What happened is, and I'm gonna take my hat off. Y'all just work with me here. Do you see the gray? You don't see it, do you? I have gray. Yeah, there you go. See that gray hair? And then there's gray. It just doesn't come off on the camera very well. But I got gray all through it. But my gray hair doesn't group up. It just kind of like lingers one by one, independently throughout the morass that is this stuff on the top of my head. So I don't have to color it because most people can't see it unless you're really looking at it. And I do have 2 gray eyelashes. Get my hat on. Pam wants to know. Pam's my buddy. She said, did you ever want to stay in Philly after I graduated, got my doctorate in law from UPenn? I said, listen, after I took my last exam, I packed up my bags and I went home. I didn't even stay to go to the, what do you call that thing? Graduation. Went to the registrar's office, said, you send me that sucker. I was so done. I hated law school. Hated being a lawyer, too, which is why I became a judge in part, because I hated being a lawyer. But being a judge was fun. I enjoyed that. Well, I want to create. How are you holding up? How am I holding up during this? I'm holding up pretty well. Where's your favorite place to vacation? Paris is one. I love Paris. And Antigua. That was the best vacation we had ever been on. Me and the boys and the Big E guy. Who would I like to meet? Ron White, Simone Biles, Bill Burr, and Barack Obama. I think I would like to meet all of those people. And I think that's pretty much it. I don't know if that was interesting or not. I thought the questions were interesting. Not all together sure about my answers, but I want y'all to have a good day. I want you to take your time and be kind when you can, and don't panic. Don't panic. Things can be stressed. So, somebody asked a question. How do you stay positive and motivated in a world meant to break you down? I don't look at the world as something designed to break me down. I look at the world as a place where I am. And that I deal with whatever comes up as it comes up. If you look at it like it's coming after you, even when it is coming after you, you feel victimized. I like to come after each and every problem on an individual level, which gives me a sense of control. That is not accurate, but it is psychologically much more, I believe with every vote I can determine the race. I know that's not true, but it keeps me coming, and it keeps me motivated, and it keeps the world from telling me, I'm coming for you, even when it is. I'm coming for it. Listen, y'all have a great day. Thank you for joining me for Personal Question Friday. I may or may not do it again. I think I've told everything already. Ain't much more to know that I would be willing to tell. But we'll see. Y'all have a great afternoon.